Welcome to Bible Jews. Standing firm when others fall. In a world where loyalty shifts and values fade, true obedience stands out like light in the dark. Jeremiah 35 introduces us to a little-known family, the Rechabites, whose quiet faithfulness shone brightly in a time when Israel had turned away from God. While kings and priests disobeyed, prophets were ignored, and covenants were broken, one family quietly chose to remain faithful. Their example still speaks to us today. Obedience to God and faithfulness to principle never go unnoticed by heaven. A strange test of faith. The story begins when God instructs the prophet Jeremiah to bring the Rechabites into one of the chambers of the Lord's house and offer them wine to drink. It was a test, not of temptation, but of conviction. Jeremiah obeyed. He set bowls full of wine before the family and invited them to drink. But their response was firm and humble. "We will drink no wine, for Jonadab the son of Rechab, our father, commanded us, saying, 'You shall drink no wine, you nor your sons, forever.'" Jeremiah 35 verse 6. They went on to explain that their ancestor Jonadab had given them specific commands. Do not drink wine. Do not build houses or plant vineyards. Live in tents as sojourners. And they obeyed, generation after generation. Even though centuries had passed since Jonadab gave those instructions, back in the days of King Jehu, around 2 Kings 10 verses 15 to 23, the Rechabites remained true to their forefathers' commands. Faithfulness in a failing society. The Rechabites were not Israelites by birth. They were Kenites, descendants of Jethro, Moses' father-in-law. They had joined Israel long ago, and though they were surrounded by idolatry, compromise, and corruption, they stayed separate. Their commitment wasn't cultural, it was convictional. In an age when even God's chosen people broke his covenant, this small family stayed true to the voice of their father. They could have easily reasoned, "Times have changed," or "Everyone else is doing it." But they didn't. Their faithfulness stood as a silent rebuke to Judah's disobedience. God used their obedience to teach his people a lesson. The words of Jonadab the son of Rechab are performed, "But my people have not obeyed me." Jeremiah 35 verse 14. What a powerful contrast. A family obeyed the voice of a man, faithfully, for generations, but the nation refused to obey the voice of the living God. The reward of faithfulness. God took notice of the Rechabite steadfastness. He turned to Jeremiah and declared a beautiful promise. "Jonadab the son of Rechab shall not lack a man to stand before me forever." Jeremiah 35 verse 19. This was not just a blessing, it was a divine endorsement of their faithfulness. While kingdoms rose and fell, while disobedient rulers faced judgment, the descendants of Jonadab continued to live under God's favor. Generations later, even after Jerusalem was destroyed, records suggest that Rechabite families were still known among the faithful remnant, proof that obedience leaves a legacy. Lessons for us today. 1. Faithfulness is possible in every generation. 2. Generational faithfulness starts with one voice. 3. Obedience to God is greater than tradition, but it starts with it. A quiet legacy of obedience. The Rechabites were not warriors, prophets, or kings. They were ordinary people with extraordinary obedience. They didn't perform miracles, but their faithfulness was a miracle, staying pure in a polluted generation. Their story is a reminder that God values obedience more than status, and faithfulness more than fame. You may never stand on a stage or wear a crown, but when you live by conviction, you stand before God, and that's what matters most. Final reflection. While Judah's leaders ignored God's voice, the Rechabites quietly lived out obedience. They didn't just hear the word, they practiced it. They didn't just make promises, they kept them. Their loyalty to Jonadab became a symbol of what true devotion looks like. And today, their story challenges us to ask, am I living faithfully to the voice of my Father in heaven? Have I allowed the world's influence to weaken my obedience? Will my children see in me the same steadfast heart the Rechabites showed for generations? The Rechabites remind us that faithfulness may not make you famous, but it makes you fruitful in God's eyes. Amen.